Hi, my name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have another vinyl haul. It's been a while since we've had one, and you might notice that I've grown a bit. And we have a guest today.
I'm Zach.
This is, yes, my boyfriend Zach, and my new vinyl shopping accomplice. So a lot of what we're going through today, he either has gotten me, actually technically most of it you've gotten for me, because one of it was a birthday gift.
I think we've all gotten it together, well, except for the one.
Except for like one. Yeah. So this is our co-shopping efforts. This is like buying groceries, but a lot more fun. But you can't eat them, so not typically recommended. So what we got is a little bit of an assortment of places today. So admittedly, we've gone to Walmart. I forgot that Walmart sold vinyl, because honestly I had not stepped foot into a physical Walmart in a while. Yeah. So,
but we've been pleasantly surprised. It's actually been a decent selection, fairly affordable if you're trying to get new vinyl.
Yeah, you know, they've got a decent amount of the Walmart exclusives, as they've always had with the CDs, but they've sort of expanded that into their vinyl selection as well. So that was kind of refreshing thing to see, especially after I've been so disappointed with Barnes & Noble. And kind of found Target to be somewhat mediocre, but that's just my opinion. So I was kind of surprised with Walmart. So the first half here, or not half, but the first bit of our selection here today is actually from Walmart. And we start with two sort of miscellaneous choices. And we'll see here that if you've seen some of my vinyl hauls before, we've expanded. We've branched out a bit. It's a large part due to learning new stuff. But it's been fun. It's been fun. So let's stop talking about this at least and get into the records.
Yeah,
sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start with two miscellaneous. Both of these are from Walmart. First, we start with Core by Stone Temple Pilots, which honestly I didn't know that was the name of the album at all. I just knew it as the red one. And this is, I forget which ones are on this one that I know. Oh, Plush and Creep. The quality at Walmart was better than I was expecting. As I said, you know, Barnes & Noble almost always has records that are scratched, that skip, you know, have issues with that notoriously. I bought like 3 albums there, and all of them have skipped, and I returned one of them, and it skipped in the same place. So that's a plant problem, obviously.
Dead and Bloated. I'll also know that one.
Dead and Bloated on that one, yeah. I think we've listened to this one,
haven't we?
We have. The quality was good. I remember it sounded of course, not as good as used. Not as good as, you know, going to someone's house and getting stuff, which I have a haul of stuff of that sort that will be coming up soon after this video. I did go to a creepy man's house. He was actually pretty nice. It'd be lying to say he was creepy, but maybe I was creepy. Maybe that was the problem.
When she said, "Hey, I'm going over to some man's house," that
I met him on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I was a little like, okay, this is gonna go one of two ways. Either she's gonna come home with a bunch of really nice vinyl, or a police officer's gonna be showing up at the door saying your girlfriend's missing. So.
Yeah, I was also afraid it was going to be the latter, but you'll see in the next video that it was actually the former. But so good quality vinyl, starting out with Stone Temple Pilots. I didn't have any of their stuff before. Honestly, I didn't even know that their stuff would be on vinyl. I imagine this was probably a newer occurrence, due to just how around that period of time CD was really taking over, so I imagine originally it wasn't.
This next album, I believe, is album. It's an inside joke. I occasionally will say album instead of album.
Yeah.
She likes to remind me of that.
I do correct it gently.
Oh, very, very gently. It's really. It's gotten to the point that
I throw darts at him until he gets it right, and then, you know, maybe one day he'll remember. So his next one, yeah, you were saying something about this one.
The album is from the same era, you know, early mid-90s.
Yeah. So now you'll know this is an outlier for me, and I don't think we finished this one because it was.
No, so it was. I think
this is a double album.
It is a double. Yeah. So we listened to
Korn.
One disc.
Follow the Leader. We listened to, I think it was sides 1 and 2.
Yes.
I believe it's a double. I will say though that they did include real like liner sheets sometimes they don't do that. And I'll point out part of my rule when we go to Walmart or a big box store is that the vinyl has to be special.
And
these
are
red. I was going
to point that out. I really liked the red.
They're very pretty, and I thought they were fun. Once again, the quality was surprising.
Very good.
I will say I don't like that they put both of the records in a single sleeve. It's not a gatefold, but that's just kind of a me thing. I feel like the records then rub against each other in the sleeves, and I don't think that's safe. But, say la vie.
So, Haley, you hadn't really listened to much Korn. Right?
No, I had not, and now we're going to go see them in concert, and I don't know if this was the right choice on my part, but, we make decisions in life, and we learn, and sometimes you learn the hard way.
Well, I will say, just going back to this album, this is I believe this is their first album. Not my favorite Korn album, but I really do. I think it was a good addition to the collection, and
it adds some diversity. And it is good to listen to stuff you're not used to, especially as a musician. I always say, like, if anyone asks me for advice on the rare occasion someone asks me for advice, I say, as a musician, you should really be listening to, like, the everything available, because that will influence your writing. I think it's benefited my writing, but, let's see. So the next kind of subsection of this haul is what I call the birthday bit. And actually all the rest of it is technically birthday. But some of it was gifted. All of it was technically gifted. I really won on this haul, I will tell you. I'm not sure if I bought anything. I really won this. I really won this one. Now, but we have sort of the big box store, and then we have the traditional store. So let's start with this. This was from Zach. This is, and we haven't opened it yet, but this is And Justice for All, Metallica. So you can see it's another Walmart one, and it's green. So we've got red and green. We've got Christmas. I can't get over baby Lars.
I know.
He looks like
such a child.
Yeah, he looks like 6 years old.
And I'm blanking on his name. The original bassist,
Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton.
Right?
I believe this was the last album that he was on. Now you got me going.
Yeah, I've said it, and now it's Oh, I can correct myself.
Hold on to it.
Yeah, put it there. Let's move right along. I actually did buy this one because this is and once again, I don't usually buy new, but this is the official anniversary re-release, if I recall correctly, of the debut Bon Jovi album. Bon Jovi's been big in the news recently. They had all the different specials that have been coming out. I haven't watched them yet. Spoiler alert, I think they got famous. This, I don't know, it seemed like a very good deal at the time. I got it from their official website. I thought, where is it? Yeah, this.
You gotta show it to the people.
You gotta show it to the people. This, now that's a photo, I mean, actually, I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm not, but, I have like a fake 80s wig. Like one of those like really chintzy, you've seen it, the blonde one, and what John has got crawled on his head and died, very similar in look, and I don't really know.
We've talked a little bit about the fashion and kind of the hair
I mean, Richie's
era.
Wearing purple.
Yeah,
I love purple.
I like the style. It's just
It's
sort of a little oxymoronic to the...
In a way, yeah.
To what musicians wore in the 90s. I'm more of a grunge and metalcore guy. Also, the kind of the new metal of the 90s that's kind of some of the earliest music I listened to. And the kind of style is very different. So, when I started dating Haley, we started listening to some older music, like stuff I associated with my parents. It's kind of interesting to see. It's like, oh wow, within like 10 years, guys went from like skinny leather pants to
like baggy,
kind of looking like homeless dudes. So.
Yeah. You that's what happens when you get like the Seattle music scene. You get very baggy clothes, the flannels, the very kind of Pacific Northwest, as opposed to hair metal, which was much more like Bon Jovi, New Jersey, which is appropriate.
And having lived in Seattle, I can attest that the people actually do dress like that.
It's not just a stereotype?
No, it's not the stereotype.
You dress like that sometimes.
I do dress like that. And that's, I fit in quite well in the Pacific Northwest.
It's a holdover. It's really weird in Florida for you to still be dressing. It's got to be hot. It's got to be warm.
It is.
It's Speaking of New Jersey, though, this is my birthday gift from my mom. One of them is Bon Jovi in New Jersey. Of course, this is slightly later, so we have sort of the debut. I almost said the beginning, which yes,
we need to listen to this. We haven't listened to this yet.
I've really been slacking. You know, I've been
so the crowd can see it. So we don't get any...
I love this album. It's got, I mean, I'll Be There For You, the music video for that. I mean, like, I am a Richie girl. If we're gonna be in, you know, if we're gonna have that fan moment, I am a Richie girl. But in that music video, I understood all the John girls. You know, I got it in that video. You know, they're very beautiful. I'm just gonna say that. So next we've got a more traditional thing for my channel, which is just going to a store and just shopping, you know, for vinyl. Going to a designated record store. Now this was this in DC proper?
Yes,
Where was
this was technically in DC proper.
So we technically were there for a wedding, but I'm considering it my birthday trip. We went to DC in March, and as is my rule, if you know this, I have two things that I look for in every city that I go to. Local ice cream and a local record store. So we found one, and
what was the name of that store?
This store was Birdland Records, if I recall correctly. Yes. I think there's a Y. I think it's BYRDLAND. Birdland Records. A nice place. A pretty good mixture of new and used, but primarily a newer store. They did have a bunch of unsold record store days, so like if you missed like 2021 record store day, you might be able to find stuff there. I thought that was good. We went there kind of close to closing, but the dude like let us like hang out and really just take our time looking for stuff. And I don't like holding people there, but he let us. And, you know,
I felt like their prices weren't too bad, especially for Washington D.C.
Yeah,
the prices were quite affordable, especially on their used stuff.
Yeah, so this is Zach took me to the store for my birthday, so this is kind of the companion piece to last year's birthday haul. Although last year's birthday haul was like 98% Styx and 2% Billy Joel, so this is kind of a very different mix. But we can see. I've had a lot of shopping experiences in between now and then, and so now I'm really narrowed in on what I'm looking for, and let's see if you can catch the trend of what I was looking for as we start here with, I can't even read this one just because the font. It's a Dio album. Yeah, I know it's Sacred Heart, right?
Sacred Heart,
It has the, what would you call that font? Like, I'm just going to call it medieval.
It's very, very German looking.
Sort of old world, sort of very.
And this is the album that came out after Holy Diver.
I am honestly not sure. This is 1985, so I feel like that's a safe bet. I feel like Holy Diver was earlier in the 80s. I really need to listen to this album. I've told you, I'm slacking. I will admit it. But I've been moving. I mean, you guys have noticed the stairs and the pajama jams. Those weren't there before. This is a different piano. This is a whole new person. What are you talking about? So we got a lot going on. So I'm catching up. My birthday's not in June. Do you know how delayed this is? Significantly. So, but we're doing it now. So Dio, I was excited. This is my first Dio piece, so I'm excited. I say it like it's art. It is. But it's my first Dio album, so I am intrigued to see it. Obviously, I've heard bits and bobbits of his throughout the years. Even without being that familiar with his music, I respect the hell out of him. And yeah, so that's our first bit from Birdland. Let's move on to an artist I'm a bit more familiar with, and by a bit, I mean I've seen them in concert twice. Def Leppard, High and Dry. This is one of their earlier albums. We've got Bringing On the Heartbreak, which is probably the biggest song off this album. On Through the Night. You know, this is I mean, this is such an this is such an early album for Def Leppard that Joe Elliott has brown hair.
Oh.
That's how old he was. Pretty much blonde, or dirty blonde, but blonde, you know, for the majority of their career. And you know, this is produced by Mutt Lange, who later was married to Shania Twain.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
It's very funny to me that you have the same guy working on Def Leppard songs and Shania Twain songs. Diversity, as I said, for musicians and producers alike, it's very important. So that's our next. They're such babies. I just can't. Sorry, I can't get over how baby they are. That's so funny. But yes, so beautiful. Next, we have another classic staple. I've been looking for this one in particular.
I was excited when we found this.
I was so excited because I didn't think we were going to be able to find it. We have Rat, Out of the Cellar, which I've really been thinking a lot about Rat ever since I've been seeing those freaking Geico commercials where they're like, we've got rats.
We have a rat problem.
We have a rat problem, and then it cuts to them singing Round and Round. It's so dumb. It's such a dumb commercial, and it makes me laugh every time. That one and the animal one, where it's like, there's an animal.
And
this
the
animal.
Muppets,
But we listened to this album. Quality was good.
It was
Actually,
good.
I really liked this album.
Yeah.
Like, my only knowledge of Rat was Round and Round. But I mean,
The whole album was good.
whole album was very solid. Like, you understand kind of, I mean, like, one-hit wonders, but you understand why Rat, in particular, is so remembered from that time, you know? They really had just the quality there, you know? And very 80s looking.
So, if I'm remembering
yeah,
correctly, the guitarist, I guess his name was Robin Crosby, at the time, let's see if we can see just him right there.
Blondie, right?
Blondie,
He's
yeah,
blonde.
really big dude. At the time, he was dating this woman. I don't remember her name.
I don't recall either.
But yeah, it's
and he got her to pose for the and I got you a pose for my book cover. This is just how this works in the industry.
The people you love.
You know, you con the people you love into doing stuff for free, so you don't have to pay people to. If it works, it works. It's not blackmail if they agree to it. No. And yes, I'm working on getting my book published. If this is the first you've heard of it, I'm not surprised because I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel before. But I am trying to publish a book that I wrote. That kind of implied there. It's about music. Wow. And more information will be released about that as we get closer to the release day of the book. So just, this is your, there's that. Moving right along. Once again, another album I was very excited to see because did not think that we were going to find it. A lot of the albums in this time as well, like for this genre in particular, were kind of more so relegated to cassette and CD is my understanding. So finding this on vinyl.
This would have been what, late 80s?
Let's look. 84. I was thinking 85. So this is Scorpions, A Love at First Sting, and that's part of like the mid 80s to like mid later 80s is when like hair metal was getting really popular and actually coming into its own as a genre, subgenre, and that's kind of the same transition time as the CD. So that's sort of why we're, you know, where can we find it? CD, cassette, vinyl, you know, a lot of them were offered on all three, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I just realized what he's doing. He's tattooing her. I did not notice that. That's fun. Okay. But yeah, so
Scorpions, they were a West German band, right?
I believe so, yeah. We listened to this one too, if I
We
recall.
did, yeah, and the sound was good.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the sound quality for used records. Just, you know, most of my shopping has been in North Carolina and
I believe
DC,
this was
good.
the most expensive album we got at Brooklyn.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
It was. I think it says. The thing says $15.
I think it was 15, and that's not. That's
not bad.
That's not bad at all, especially for the quality that we were dealing with. See, we're getting towards the end here. We have sort of an outlier for this this portion of it. Oh, does it have the sticker on the Rat album?
Yeah, $3 for the Rat album.
Yeah, that's
like,
nothing.
That's a steal.
That's crazy. And how much was the Scorpions album?
Scorpions was 15.
Oh, so why did you? How did you remember that?
Oh.
Well, I mean, but you had said 15, and then.
Yeah.
And then Def Leppard was 10. So these are pretty reasonable prices, and I feel like they did the quality is really, the quality is what matters at the end of the day. The quality was there. So here's our little outlier for this shopping trip. This is Rush Signals, which if you've been watching for a bit, I've been trying to increase my knowledge of Rush. This is there is a map of a mall on the back of this. I just realized that. That's kind of fun. Well, that's appropriate actually because the subdivisions, that's connecting dots, wires. So,
do you want to show people the back?
Yes. So here's the front. Just get good. That classic thing. The thing is with streaming, you don't get to see the backs of the albums anymore. And that's always made me
really sad.
Yeah, it's made me sad because a lot of these albums have very care has been put into them, So just classic. Happy to have it to the collection. We actually have still the original promotional sticker on it, so that's cool. That. Yeah, that's whenever someone bought it in 1982, it was on there. So yeah. See, winding down here, we got 2 more.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to listening to this one.
Yeah, we haven't listened to this one yet. You're right. This is Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, and this is just such an iconic album, such an iconic album cover.
Such an iconic musician.
Yeah, I mean, just
Dee Snider is.
Yeah, Dee is a man within himself. He is just. Even if you're not that big on his music, which I mean, it's good music, but even if you happen to not be that big on it, him as a musician, you've seen the speech where he was before Congress, talking in 1984 or 5 or something, pretty, in the 80s, talking about censorship. It was the explicit labels on albums. It was. I mean, he put them in their place. He did it, and he did it politely.
Yep.
He was well spoken. It was not what they expected, and that's how you win every time. You have to catch people off guard, and he really did. But of course, and once again, let's show the back of this album as well. They're eating the bone from the front cover. And this is, we're not gonna take it. I Wanna Rock, The Price. These are the big Twisted Sister songs, that everyone remembers. So, and this one's $10 as well. Yeah. So, this is very affordable. Compared to some of the trips I've made. Oh. Now, this is our last one. This one, I didn't even realize I wanted this album before we bought it.
We just kind of stumbled across it.
I was so excited. Once again, this is I feel like a broken record. But I was very excited. And it's no preamble really needed. Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Look at that. Song has been on my Halloween playlist for years, I can say that much, and get sort of a classic cheesy horror movie shot for the back, It's feels like it should almost be in Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, if they made it more of a actual scary movie as opposed to a coming of age thing.
I don't think werewolves should be playing basketball. It kind of
listen. He was killing it. I don't know about the logic of Michael J. Fox playing basketball in general, just being 5'4". I love him. He's my favorite actor.
Talented actor, somewhat vertically challenged.
When I was in middle school, one of my big life goals was to be taller than Michael J. Fox.
And you are.
I $500,000 later. And they fixed my scoliosis, and now I'm taller than Michael J. Fox. It's, a team of surgeons. Yeah. So, I finally achieved that goal.
Yeah. Beat the man out.
Yeah. It's okay. Back. So, once again, this, and I didn't mention this with the other ones, but let's take it out of the sleeve here. The covers are in really good condition. We're having minimal ring wear If like pull that one
I'll
up.
pull it up too.
The top. So I don't know if you know this. The ring wear is where the album is impressed against the cardboard.
Yeah, I see a little bit there, but here,
there's nothing on the bottom. Sometimes you get on the back. There's a little bit on the Ozzy album, which it's just at this point this album's is 40 something years old. 1983. It's been around. So I mean I'm barely in that good of condition, and I've been around a lot less than I've been alive a lot less long. But the quality, a lot of these have their original sleeves in them, which when you're buying second, third, fourth, fifth hand is hard. It's somewhat rare. But as a liner notes reader, I greatly appreciate it. So. Overall, I mean, the quality at the store was good. The prices were great. I will say, because we all know that I compare every store to Tone Vendor in St. Augustine, Florida. It's my favorite store. It still is my favorite store. Mainly because they have more used. And really, really, unbeatable prices. But I will say that this is one of the better stores I've been to, especially in terms of price, in terms of quality. The variety I feel like was pretty good, and it wasn't too busy. No. I think there's maybe one or two other people. Once again, we were there by closing, so but still.
I kind of feel like the real limiting factor was we had flown up to DC and we only had so much suitcase space.
Yeah, if my suitcase was over 50 pounds, it was going to be a problem, and
it was not.
It was not. I think it was 49 and a half or something, right? It was we cheered. I remember that. It was very dorky. It was horrible. But yeah, so the store is great. If you don't live near DC, whenever you're going there for travel, consider giving Birdland a shot. Check it out. It was kind of we had to take an Uber. It was a little off the beaten path a little bit, but it was cool. It was
nice part of town.
Nice part of town. Near a lot of restaurants. And yeah, I mean, it was a good place. If you don't live near DC, and you live near St. Augustine, go to Tone Vendor. But if you don't live near either of those, check out your local store always. That's my recommendation. Always check out your local store. If you don't have one, Walmart, not bad. That's our lessons for today. That's our moral. And yeah, so let me put this over here. We'll be having another haul video soon. I don't know if it'll just be me or if we'll be doing it together again. I enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, me too.
So, regardless, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave any comments, thoughts, whatever below. What's your favorite store in your area? Maybe if I travel there, I'll be able to sneak around and see what's there. And regardless, thank you as always. And if you liked it, like and subscribe. And we're still doing the weekly videos on Wednesdays. Most of those are cover songs. If you have a song you want to hear, drop it below and I will see if it's in my range and then I'll try to do it. And beyond that, yeah, thank you so much and I will see you next week. All right.